Hey everybody, Gisele Grenier here. So in this video, I'm going to be creating a piece of art on a Book of Backgrounds piece, and the Book of Backgrounds is for 2018. It's Book of Backgrounds 2A. So I've taken half the pieces, cut them in half to create 2 extra pieces. And I was inspired for this particular piece by my watch, which no longer works. It's a beautiful rose gold watch, and Joe tried and tried and tried. We cannot figure out how to get the back off so I can change the battery. So what's going to happen with this? Well, if we can't get the back off for the battery, I'll take it in to see. It was not an expensive watch, but I thought I'll break the watch to use the pieces into mixed media, which is nice. But what inspired me with this is the color, rose gold. I love rose gold, and that's going to be the focal point color for this piece. So I'm going to put that aside. And what I have here is a piece I already did a dry fit on because it required a little bit of planning. And so this is the Book of Backgrounds piece here. This one here has got a little bit of rose gold already in there, I believe. And I'm going to tear up some paper, put that there. And then the idea for this, again, building on the premise that you don't need to spend a lot of money on art supplies in order to create a really pretty mixed media piece. The idea with this is going to be using some buttons, cogs, and washers from the hardware store, taking a piece of a wood cutout, whoops, well, now it's even more broken, that, was destined for the garbage, and using that in here. Oh, nuts. Why did I muck with it? There we go. And then we're going to put the paper underneath it. But then I got this from my friend Cheryl, who gifted me a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to be using these as a stencil and use the rose gold for that. So you have to see it happening in order, because I don't explain myself very well. What I'm going to be doing is painting the paper. Now, I don't have alizarin crimson in the DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylic. It's not made, so I make my own using Quinacridone Burnt Orange, Quinacridone Magenta, and a bit of Phthalo Green-Blue. And then what I'm going to do is make it so that alizarin crimson, then I'm going to make it more of a purple with Ultramarine Blue, because although I can take the magenta and the blue to make a purple, I like the blue better when I make it this way, or make the purple better when I do it this way. And then the Dazzling Metallics Rose Gold for the stencil. I'm going to be using the matte medium to collage the paper, and then I'm going to experiment with the heavy gel medium, which is the gloss, to glue the pieces down. I'm not going to change the color of this, so we're going to get right into collaging. So what I'm going to do is, although I'm going to collage this over the edge so that I can trim it, I don't like how straight this is going. So I'm going to, and then you can also wet it, and that'll make the tearing a little bit easier. And the beauty with these Book of Background pieces, because they're, well, because you can do so many different things with it, I can take, a Book of Backgrounds piece and, create 5 different pieces of art, and using the same technique, but it'll all look different. And I'm going to paint on top of this, putting the matte medium on this as well. It'll just help create that barrier layer so paint will dry faster. Where am I here? Let's just take this little, what's this? I have to be careful with what the words are what the words are. Yeah, a piece that I sent out a while ago with dictionary words, and the girl who went, what was really great about it was kind of funny. Well, not really appropriate, but kind of funny. So if you're gifting stuff with words, just double check what's being said. There we go. And I did a whole bunch like that. So that's on there, and you can use a credit card to flatten out the air bubbles. I got a little bit of blue in there, so some blue came off on the piece, so that's no biggie. And I'm going to hit this with the heat gun. The goal for these pieces is that they can be made in under 15 minutes using stuff you have at home. But ideally, you don't want to have to go out and buy anything. Although some of the pieces that I'm using are unique to where I got them or what was gifted to me. They're just suggestions. So if I'm using something, like in here, one of the pieces in here is a cog, I wouldn't expect you to go out and buy it. I would just, use a button. And the washer from Home Depot, if you don't have a hardware store nearby, just use another button. This little wood piece, you can draw the sun. I'm going to have to fix that. This was just, I believe this was, I think it was, oh, this is a $4.49 special at Michael's. I use it to make some Christmas cards. No biggie. There we go. And I only cut it because I didn't want a broken piece going out to somebody. All right. That's that. So let's paint this. So we're going to take a little bit of Quinacridone Burnt Orange, Quinacridone Magenta, a little bit of blue, or sorry, a little bit of the green to tone it down. And I'm going to, let's add a little bit of water to that. Blot the brush on a paper towel. Just going to lightly, just going over, just to give a little bit of tint to that paper. I could have tinted the paper, but it would have been wrinkled. This way, but because the matte medium is on top and I'm using the paint very thinly, it'll dry within seconds. That's it. And what I'm going to do now is put something over there. Oh, you know what? I forgot to add the blue. Jeepers. Oops. Yeah, I didn't quite make it purple now. I forgot to add the blue. Oh well. Nuts. There we go. Just wanted to make that a little darker. Stop talking. And now I'm just going to hit that with the heat gun for a second. Go over like that. I'm thinking if the sun's going to be here. I'm liking the direction that these are going like this. And I'm also inspired with this city of Hamilton, where it used to be a real big steel town. Now, the new tagline for Hamilton's art is the new steel. So I'm using a little cosmetic sponge. And I'm just going to stencil that. So even just cutouts, you can go get little foamy letters at the dollar store, pull the letters out, and then you have an instant stencil. You can use an X-Acto knife to cut. Well, when Joe was here, I was getting an X-Acto knife to try to take the back off. He goes, "What are you doing?" It's pretty. There we go. Just a little bit there. Put that in the water. Cover that up. Hit that with the heat gun again. And I'm going to put everything together. I'm going to use a brush to apply this. Just because I want it to have a little bit more control. And the way that you put this medium, now this is a heavy gel medium. Now, this is going back to a Book of Backgrounds piece I did long time ago, and I used texture glass, which I absolutely love. And then DecoArt stopped making it, but this is the closest thing to that. And I'm so excited because you can stencil right through. Oh, I could have stenciled this. I'll have to do that in another video. But you can stencil this and it'll retain its shape. And this is going to become clear. How far do I have to go? And I'm putting this stuff nice and thick because when I press the stuff down, it'll form around the side and it'll be permanent. But when it comes to doing the edges, I don't want to just leave the edges like that. So I'm just going to come up a little bit to make it look like the plants. Okay. And let's start now with just a little bit of pressure. In the composition, this goes on to the form of basically an L-shaped composition, but you gotta have a little bit of breaks in there. And for this one here, I could have tinted this with the purple as well. We'd have to use alcohol ink, but paint this, or even paint it with the, let's say, the DecoArt multi-surface satins, which sticks to everything. Could have painted that to really set that into the background, so although it was something there, you know, it would more into the background, not stand out so much. With this as well, taking this out, so if you picture that, you have that L-shaped composition in there. But I want to break up this corner with this. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to paint this. And just get right in there. And you can finish the edges with this with whatever you want. You can glue it down. I'm just going to grab some stuff there and just put that medium there. You can use matte medium. You could use liquid glass. Liquid glass is beautiful. Right in the corner. I'm going to have that sticking out just a little bit. This is still broken, you know that? I didn't do the corner. I didn't cut the corner very well. If it was just for me, I would have just left it. But I'm going to be giving this away. And with a little bit of the medium in the paint, it'll make it even more transparent. Not that much. Hopefully my head's not in the way. I'm just going to put a little bit in the corner. ATC renovation here. You don't have to go to this degree. I just want to really make sure that this corner is nice and finished. This is all going to dry completely transparent. I'm just going to add texture. Alrighty. So I'm going to leave that now to dry for a couple of days. And when we come back, you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like. So we're back. It's been about 24 hours now and the piece is dried. The corner didn't quite work out the way I was hoping. There's still a little bit of the card showing. I'm going to leave it. But it's on a scale of 1 to 10, on 1 being fine and 10 being it's bugging me, it's at about a 3. So go down to the table, and the medium held the embellishments really well, and I was actually surprised how well it held this washer, considering how heavy this washer is. So beautiful texture in there. This turned out really nice, so this complements little rose gold pieces in here. It's a very simple little artist trading card, a great way to create something using little scraps and pieces of what you already have. You don't have to spend a lot of money to create art. It's just a matter of being a little bit more creative, and sometimes that's where we get stuck, is being creative and getting ideas, and that's what I'm here for. So what I'd like to do is invite you to my private community, because in there we've got lots of ideas going on in there, sharing ideas, people are sharing photos, just to maybe something will jump out at you and you go, oh yeah, I can do that. So I'd like to invite you over to that. Everything is in the description below. As well, to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, that way you won't miss out on anything. So what's left? Oh yeah, the giveaway. So what to do is, from the time that this video goes public, Joe will be 2 weeks. Let me try that again. 2 weeks after this video goes public, Joe will be picking a number. I will take that number, count down the comments, and whoever that line up. You know what I'm trying to say, right? It's 4:30 in the morning right now. So yeah, so Joe's going to count a number, get a number, I'm going to count, that person's going to win. That's the thing. All right. So don't forget to do that. And I think it's time for me to go have another cup of tea. So until I see you in the next project, stay inspired.